Hey there, I'm Dying Legacy and welcome to a Final Fantasy Leveling Guide. Leveling in Final Fantasy XIV is about as mysterious as your mother's bedside table. Get experience, level up, yada yada yada. So to skip the fluffing, we're going to jump right into it. This is going to be a quick guide where I shall explain in brief detail what's the best way to level at certain levels, so you have a complete roadmap to do it efficiently, unlike a town council who I assume throw darts at a list in the hopes of figuring out the day's agenda. In this guide, we'll go over useful experience buffs, how to level your main job, and the meat of the guide, where and how to level your alt jobs. Strapped in and paying attention? Good. Can't lose you just yet. Let's begin with the experience buffs. These are varied and come in many forms. First up is preferred worlds. This comes before even starting the game. Some people will have joined their friends and started on a normal world and server. Unfortunately for you, this only works with brand new characters. Preferred worlds are worlds that grants all new players created on that world increased experience gains. An important experience buff open to everybody is food. Your choice of food and stats they give, like the debate considering pineapple on pizza, is pointless. All food gives plus 3% increased experience gains from killing enemies, so just eat anything to always have it active. The armory buff is probably the most important buff in the game. This is where every combat job lower than your highest level combat job gets 100% more experience from sources. This does drop down to 50% when you reach 10 levels below the game's current level cap. It's still 50%. A cup half full is still better than an empty cup. Another source of extra experience is rested experience. You get this buff from sitting in a sanctuary area doing nothing. These are towns and cities with large aetherytes. Kind of explains Limsa Lominsa now, doesn't it? This is where your experience bar will go from gold to green. The amount of the bar that is green denotes how much of your experience bar will gain 50% extra experience from killing enemies. This bar will continue to increase even when logged off, as long as you have logged off in a sanctuary. You can also get an experience boost while in a free company. Free companies themselves can choose buffs to have active for a 24-hour period, and one of those buffs is called Heat of Battle. This comes as Heat of Battle 1 and Heat of Battle 2. You can only have one active, but Heat of Battle 2 gives a higher experience gain, and while active you get increased experience gains from killing enemies. Now, that requires actually being in a free company. However, if you don't have a free company, don't fret. Some of us do prefer our own company over the company of others, as it is the only way to be assured of intelligent conversation sometimes. And in these situations, you can get the Heat of Battle buff from your Grand Company Squadron. When you unlock your Grand Company Squadron, which requires doing the MSQ and a few side quests, followed by ranking up in the Grand Company and leveling the squadron, you can then send the squadron out on missions where they will bring back items. This buff is one of those items, so you don't need a free company to actually use it. Lastly, for the experience bonuses, there are items such as the headwear from Recruit a Friend, the ring you get from the Novice Hall, and catch-up items such as the earrings from pre-ordering Endwalker, that while equipped give experience boosts. So if you're lucky enough to have any of them, use them. The level ranges they affect do vary, but they are stated on the items. Next up, and it's extremely important, you will hear this all the time, over and over again until a dull ringing sound in your head compels you to do a story skip. And that's to do the main storyline. Not only is this how you're going to unlock the means to actually level up jobs in the first place, but it is also where you're going to get the most experience in the fastest time for your first and main jobs. If you're looking to speed up the process further, you can do roulettes in between, mainly the leveling, trial, main scenario, alliance raids, normal raids and PvP roulettes. You will need to do the MSQ to unlock these and even a few side quests here or there. These do give vast amounts of experience, but more on that after. Now, let's say you're leveling an alt job, as this is where a leveling guide is actually beneficial. I won't be going over how to unlock things here with great detail, however, if detail is what you want, I do have a blue quest guide on the channel that I'll link in the description for you to watch later. Input thinly veiled plea to keep watching here. Starting out at level 1 to about level 20, you won't have much open to you, but you will have your job quests every 5 levels, but in between those you'll have your hunt logs and your fates. Your hunt log is just a hit list for the creatures and denizens of Eorzea that when completing it awards experience. And while you're trekking about to hunt down and murder these mobs, you'll find fates. At these lower levels, fates tend to be quite important with the amount of experience they give, so you can stop off along the way, complete them, and then get back to mass genocide. Once you've hit level 20, it's best to start doing the daily roulettes. You'll only have the leveling roulette, guild heists and PvP, depending on how far you are into the MSQ. You can skip the guild heist roulette. To be fair, the experience gained from it is abysmal. Now is a good time to point out the challenge log that you've unlocked up to this point. It works about the same way as your hunt log, except it's challenges rather than the straight murder. Complete a challenge for a good amount of experience, and unlike the hunt log, the challenge log resets and updates with new challenges on a weekly basis, so you can use this in unison with whatever you're doing for experience gains. At this stage, you can start doing Palace of the Dead, which is a deep dungeon, mainly floors 51 to 60. You can run this as much as you want, but I would suggest doing other things in between to avoid burnout. When you've your daily roulettes done, the next best thing to do, and this works all the way to level cap, is to spam the highest level dungeon available to you for the best XP gains. Now this does work better for tanks and healers as the queue times are vastly shorter, but you can always Netflix and chill while you wait as a DPS. Now this should sustain you up to level 50, at which point you'll be able to unlock alliance raids, roulettes and main scenario roulettes to net even more XP. And this is a good point to explain the adventurer need buff from roulettes. Basically, when you open your duty finder, you'll find role icons next to daily roulettes. This tells you that a certain role is in short supply, and that if you complete the roulette on a role that is shown, you'll get even more experience and gil from completing it. This does benefit tanks and healers a lot more, but DPS can be in short supply every now and again, unlike your best friend, who is in high demand all the time. From level 50 to 60, you are looking at more dungeons, challenges and fates. Just keep in mind that doing dungeons that have a square S emblem will give very small amounts of experience, as these are level cap dungeons where the enemies don't offer that much experience, so just stick to doing dungeons that don't have that emblem. Also, along the way in Heaven's Ward, you'll unlock the hunt board that'll open up as you go along. That will have you selectively murder a target of the day for a good amount of experience. You'll also unlock Heaven Ward's Beast Tribes, which have daily quests that also give great experience. If you're a DPS job, you can do these in between waiting for roulettes. This should get you to level 60, at which point you'll unlock the ability to get the Book of Wondrous Tales. That acts like a sticker book for doing roulettes and duties. You have 2 weeks to fill out the sticker book before it becomes useless, and you have to trade it in for a fresh new one. But if you fill it out, you get a holy crap ton of experience, so you can start using that right away. At this point, you've opened up all your roulettes, and you'll probably be using them for the Book of Wondrous Tales, so let's go over the experience gained from each roulette. First, we have the level 50, 60, 70, 80 and 90 dungeons. This roulette can give good experience, but it doesn't give anywhere near as much as the second roulette, Leveling, does. The third roulette is Trials, which can give a small to moderate amount of experience. The main scenario roulette, although nerfed compared to what it once was, still gives vast amounts of experience. Guild heists are pointless for leveling, so let's just pretend it's the middle child and ignore it. Alliance raids are also very generous with their experience gains, while normal raids give about the same, if not less, than the Trials roulette. And finally, Frontlines. At lower levels, this is practically broken with the amount of experience it can give. I know a lot of people avoid this like the plague or polka dancing, but it's worth doing. You even get rewards like mounts and things from the season system that you'll also get experience for from doing frontline roulettes. So my recommendation would be to do them. From 60 to 70, you are basically repeating what you did in Heaven's Ward, except you're doing it in Stormblood. With the addition of Heaven on High, this is Stormblood's version of Palace of the Dead that works in much the same way, where you'll spam floor 21 to 30. Again, make sure not to get burned out running this for days on end, and also if you have hit 70 on another job and completed the side quests, you might have unlocked Eureka, an island-wide duty that offers quests and other content that are good ways of getting experience from level 61 to 70. 70 to 80 is exactly the same, you're just doing it with Shadowbringers content. And just like Eureka, you'll have Boza. It's the same idea to a degree, but it's also a good way to gain a few levels or experience from 71 to 80. From level 81 to 90, you can switch to the Xander Instanced Island Duty. That is in the same form as Boza is with greater experience gains. You can unlock this after you finish the Shadowbringer patch content. Along with that, stick with your Book of Wondrous Tales, doing your highest level dungeon, fates, hunt boards, beast tribes and roulettes. There! Congrats, your job is now level 90. Guess you'll have to do it again with the next job. Hurry up though, dinner's almost ready, and daddy needs another beer. Hopefully this guide was useful to you in some way and I was able to help you out. If so, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as I have more scuff guides in the work, as well as other Final Fantasy XIV and MMO based content. If you want to see the content live, pop over to Twitch and follow me. The link's in the description. The content's very unhinged, and the chat's practically missing its hinges altogether. I've been Dying Legacy. This has been a guide. You've been a treat. The video's over. Now get lost. I yearn for my own company. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care of yourselves, and keep being awesome.